3000.
What is doing? My name's Maloney. This is the 3000 podcast. I am joined today by a singer, rapper, musician, a person of many talents, Vida Sunshyne. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Did I say your name correctly?
You really did. Yeah, thanks.
People butcher it, I'm tipping.
Look, being spelt V-I-D-A, a lot of people assume Vida, but Vida is the name given to me from birth. The sound is everything rather than the spelling.
Yes.
So and it's also my grandmother's name. So
go.
Vida Sunshyne. Yeah. So thanks.
It's a cool name as well. And it's awesome when people who are artists can use their real name. It means that they've got a cool name.
Yeah, I'm pretty grateful. Outside of high school, I'm grateful. I always wanted the common name to fit in.
Boring.
Yeah, young me, she didn't know, but now we're cool.
See, my real name's Chris, and no one calls me that because it's fucking boring, man.
I like the name Chris. It's cool.
I guess. All right. Well, it's good that you brought up, high school and stuff. So let's talk about where you grew up. You grew up in Melbourne.
Ooh, actually.
Did you? Oh, let's go. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I was born in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. And then at the age of 5, nearly 6, moved to Queensland to be with my birth mother, and was with her travelling pretty much. We went from Queensland, New South Wales, and back just through a few towns, 10 primary schools.
10 primary schools?
Yeah.
It's hard for you to find your feet as a kid.
Yeah, I guess it was like training for touring, Really, like when I think about my life, it's like I was basically prepared for the travelling and the muso life. So yeah, it was cool.
Whereabouts? So are we talking like on the sort of beach side? You want?
The coast. The most inland we lived was in Wagga Wagga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's inland.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting experience. But and then for the most part though, Bundaberg in Queensland.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
I've never been there, but they like their rum. I know that, and then they can have some interesting views and stuff up there.
Yeah. Queensland's an interesting place. Really beautiful nature, hands down, probably the best that I've experienced in Australia. But yeah, I think, especially growing up being first generation African Australian, and the only one who looked like me in a lot of the schools. So 10 primary schools, but also 4 high schools, 5 different times.
Yep.
So it's like always just that, kind of, it's a thing. But, the people up there are really lovely, to be fair. Yeah.
So when does music come into this journey?
Okay, well, so my father was the very first to bring Afro-Reggae music to Australia back in the 70s.
Wow.
And my birth mother was his manager.
Wow.
Yeah, so then I was born. And so music is since the womb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he came out here touring?
No. He was on a cargo ship as the cook, and then jumped ship here in Melbourne. Way back when, with 4 other Ghanaians, and started the band and music and everything back then.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And so then you said your birth mother, because I'm guessing that then you didn't stay with her?
Yeah. So, long story short.
If you don't want to get into it, that's okay.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like there's blessings in all of the experiences,
Yep.
So, I'd come back to live with my dad when I was like 14, 15. And then a wonderful lady he introduced me to, she taught me how to braid my hair, and before then it was just shave it all off because we don't know what to do with it. Kind of thing.
You didn't embrace it.
Oh, I did, but my birth mother, I guess, didn't know what to do with it because there was no one we could turn to.
She was from a different culture?
Oh, yeah. So I guess she's Aussie, but the background, which I've just done, the ancestry search thing, I've got like a whole lot of Irish blood and English, Danish as well. My great-grandfather, who's named Christian as well, so it's Chris, just saying. It's a cool name. But and then a bit of German and Scottish. So all of that good stuff. Yeah. But so there's no African hair in any of that. So from not knowing how to do my hair to then knowing. And then she basically took me in, this beautiful lady, you know. And so she's mum to me. Yeah, and her son is also an amazing rapper. He's grown up to be. I'm so proud of him, but that's a whole nother conversation too.
Yeah.
But yeah, music has definitely stayed surrounding me throughout my whole life.
Yeah. And so that even though you had different schools and you travelled around a lot, you still had the music to sort of follow you around.
Yeah, I guess I was always drawn to it. Like back in the day, I was talking with T earlier. We mentioned, the tape player kind of thing. And so I used to wait till midnight when Triple J would play those few hip hop tracks.
Yeah.
And I'd just jump up and record it quickly.
Are those ones up there?
Yes, definitely one of those ones up there. Or a few.
Yeah.
But yeah. And so, I just kind of found myself teaching myself to write. I'd copy the lyrics on the back of the CDs, the singles, how they'd have the lyrics inside. And just try and match the voices.
And so you're learning self-taught as far as writing, but you knew music was sort of in you somewhere.
Yeah, I was always drawn to it, especially being one out, like being different growing up, especially Queensland and the countryside of towns.
Yeah.
Music was that one thing that kind of kept me going. And also my dad being a musician as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And so he had the reggae background, which so that sort of inspired you to delve into that style of music as well, not just what you're hearing on the radio?
Yeah, definitely, because the radio didn't play a whole lot of reggae, other than Bob Marley, which was, the mainstream stuff, or, just there was only very, very few things, and we didn't have internet too, so it was just kind of what you're given. But then Dad had vinyls for days and was making his music, and so it kind of moved me. I stuck with that, bass lines.
So how old were you when you wrote your first sort of original, song?
I think I was 14 or 13.
So year 7 or sort of start of high school.
That's it, yeah. Wanted to start my own little group. Oh my gosh. It was a very young teen kind of, gosh, you're taking me down memory lane.
Well, this is what it's about.
This is really cool. That's sweet.
So had you developed it? Were you still using your own name? Did you have some sort of idea you were going to be a character? Were you going to start a band? What was your original concept?
Okay, so Vida Sunshyne was always me because that's always been my name.
Perfect.
And so I put the Y in the shine, I guess to make it stage rather than, the normal spelling that it is. But also because on stage I have this energy that just naturally comes out, which I can definitely resonate with my dad, with that. But off stage, I tended to get quite shy. So shine,
shy.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I didn't get that double entendre.
I never really. This is crazy because I don't even mention it usually. So,
but this is why people like this stuff, because they get to. It's cool because some people be like, I've known this person for so long and I didn't know this about him. So this sort of stuff's cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So you've got your name and then you start to write some originals.
Yeah. My gosh. So I mean, I don't use any of them to this day, but
you've got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and had some really cool friends in. I think it was grade 8, which is the first year of high school in Queensland.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it? You start earlier.
Here. But Hugs and Kisses. What's the name of our little girly kind of group? Yeah, the idea. We had the idea and we had our, what do you call them? Autographs.
Yeah,
But we didn't, I don't remember. No, we did. I remember we were singing at lunchtime. We'd get together and harmonize and do stuff, but I don't remember what it was. It would be nice to know, but anyway.
Yeah. So at this point in time, you had your friends in that school.
Yeah.
But then inevitably you're going to move to another school, aren't you?
Yeah, oh God, that was crazy. So that particular school in Bundaberg, I went to, what did I have? Grade 8, grade 9. Grade 8 and 9. I don't think I did grade 10 there. And then travel. Then went back the last 6 months of year 12. Yeah, so, but half the people were gone already.
Yeah.
But it was good, kind of got into that side of things. But also that school had dance class and drama class. So that's where I really kind of excelled.
No music though?
No, there was a music class, but it was very, read the notes and proper, rather than
theoretical.
And my ADHD brain,
and that's true. I think a lot of people that are musical, they don't want to hear the theory. They just want to make it
and create.
And once you start teaching kids, this is a treble clef and stuff, they're like, fuck, boring. Like, I just want to make some music.
Yeah, you know, I'll make the sound, and then when I need to know what the clefs are and the this and the that, then I can dip into that kind of thing. I'm still yet to get there.
But that's it. I don't look musical, like theory behind it doesn't really matter because it's all about the sound of it. So whether or not you know how, I'm sure there's some amazing producers, singers out there that don't know any theory because that's secondary.
It's true because it's about the feeling, you know, or to me, you know, anyway, yeah. And I think that's a lot of the songs to me that are still popular to this day are from the feeling rather than the let's make it perfect. What do we label this? And, you know, to me.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I think that there's some, you know, rappers or singers that might write technically good songs, but they lack the vibe. They lack the passion there.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's that head versus heart thing, you know. When you can have a nice balance, it's right on point. Yeah. But, yeah, speaking from my angle anyway, it's very much all feeling based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you finish year 12 or grade 12, you call it there. In Bundaberg. In Bundy. And then you just go, all right, so where does your journey take you after that? So you're still making music. Hugs and Kisses is done.
Hugs and Kisses is done. I can't believe I even mentioned that. Oh my God. That's so funny. Yeah, definitely done. But yeah, so then went down to Melbourne. No, so I'd gone to Melbourne at 14, 15. And then...
Whereabouts in Melbourne, just so we can sort of paint a picture?
Was living in Bentley.
Yeah.
Went to Bentley Secondary.
Okay.
And then moved over to Oakley. And life happened. And then the last 6 months of grade 12, year 12, went back to Bundaberg.
Yep.
Did that. And then fast forward back to Melbourne. Yeah. And that's where I started doing, you know, the hip-hop stuff and... Yeah, working with different crew.
How did you get into the hip hop? So obviously that was kind of something that was aligning with what you were doing with the singing stuff, but you weren't in the hip hop sort of into that music originally. But then how'd you get into it?
Yeah, okay. So I really loved like anything that I classified as black music because it was an identity thing, you know. So yeah, hip hop, soul. Reggae, you know, all of this kind of stuff. And so I've come back to Melbourne and my sister, Candy, she wanted to rap, I wanted to sing. And so she showed me how to rap, like, you know, try this, try that. And before I knew it, I was writing my own thing. And it went on a mixtape. Oh, nope, it's gone. But it was an Oz hip-hop thing.
Okay.
It's like, okay, this is a whole world of, you know, stuff I can do. It's not just reggae and live bands, but, you know, hip-hop groups and, yeah.
And so who was she looking up to start this rapping thing? Who was she like, this is how, look at this person, they're doing it, let's do it like that?
Yeah, actually, it was her. Like, so she was influenced by, like, Missy Elliott.
Yep.
And, Foxy Brown as well.
Missy Elliott was so ahead of her time. Oh. Even to this day, you hear stuff and you're like, this is better than like I'm not going to shit on a lot of female rappers,
no.
but she I think is better than a lot of them, and that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, totally iconic. I'm glad she's still around. You know, she's a big inspiration for me as well because the singing and rapping and production as well. Yeah, so that was.
I'm not familiar with too much of her production. I should have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was so. Don't quote me on it, but in my mind, and I don't want to shatter my own glass ceiling, in my mind, she had produced a few of her beats alongside...
Timbaland.
Yeah, alongside Timbaland. Yeah, so I'm going to stick with that in my head, but maybe double check.
I'm going to research that.
Yeah.
Because she was amazing, and I think in a time where there wasn't a whole lot of female rappers, she was not a female rapper, she was just another rapper, which was, do you know what I mean? Like she was like, it wasn't like she was there for a novelty factor. She was there because she was good.
Yes. And even dance, like how she incorporated the dance crew in her video clips as well. Like, yeah, she's one of a kind. She's,
definitely. So she's sort of the benchmark. You guys are looking up to her. You're writing your own raps.
Yeah.
I guess as someone who can sing and rap, you're valuable because you can do hooks too, which a lot of these rappers are like, I don't know what I'm going to do when it gets to the hook.
Yeah, man, I definitely have to say to everyone, if they hear a song or like a melodic chorus, try it. You know, just try
to
it.
Sing or just
sing. If you want to sing, like try it. So earlier days, you didn't really get the sing rappers, you know. So sing rap was my kind of thing when I was coming up.
Which now's a thing.
It's just a thing, yeah. So that's cool. But then a lot of like dudes that I'd come across would be like, man, you know, I wish I could sing. And it's like, well, you can. If you wish you can, you really can. Yep. You're just not going to sound like, or you might not sound like anyone else. But you know?
Yeah, I think Pharrell showed us even if you can't sing, you can sing.
Exactly, you know.
It's his own thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's art. So I think a lot of people tend to get stuck. It's like that head heart thing, right? Yep. Get stuck in their mind of it should sound like this or, you know, this is what's going to be liked. It's like, no, it's art, create and see what happens. If you like it, there'll be one other at least that will like it.
That's the right mentality.
Yeah.
Because if someone else doesn't like it, that's not your fault. That's their fault.
Yeah.
And they don't have to like it.
Exactly. You know, but if you like it, then you can play your songs to you and enjoy them for time. But yeah, like I said, if one person likes it, there'll be at least one other who will like it. And then if they, and so on, you know.
For sure. And I think that is something that in hip, like it puts a ceiling on a lot of people creating stuff because they're creating it for other people rather than themselves.
Yeah.
They're thinking, is this going to be popular? Are people going to like this? And that's the wrong mentality. Make it because you like it, and then other people can leave it or they can like it, you know?
Exactly, yes. That's where the inspiration comes in. Yeah. I mean, I even found, so I'll create my music back in the day, and then when people started to hear it, I fell into that, I guess, like trap of like, oh, they like this type more. And then I try and write it and then get stuck. And it's like,
it's not natural.
It's not, yeah. So, you know.
And I think you see it happen a lot with social media now where people do something, it gets a bit of a buzz, and then you can see they're trying to emulate that and chase that dragon of like, this is popular, when that's not why you were popular in the first place. You
know, perfect example, movies. Yeah. You know, the first Matrix, boss. You know.
Second one's horrible.
And then third.
I tapped out the second.
I'm telling you, I want to love them, but I just find myself going back to the original because it was, you know, there was not expectations on it from the outside. It was like, this is the art.
Yeah. And that does happen a lot with sort of more. That was probably a big budget film to start with, but you do get that with some sort of stuff that's like indie movies, and then they see commercial success and they just bang out some shit.
Yeah, you know, for the sake of. So then it's rushed, and then it's not wholesome, and then it doesn't feed the soul.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think is what brings people back to listening to or watching the art.
For sure.
Yeah.
So then when you start making music with your sister, are you both just using your names? Are you forming a group? Are you looking to collaborate with people? What's next on your journey?
No, okay, so we started then. Okay, just started writing. Man, I find as siblings too, we would have fights rapping to each other. Like we'd get to double time point of freestyle rapping with tears in our eyes to each other, but never record it. Never do. I don't know. But you know, it was good to have as a memory anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so from there.
It's like verbal sparring in the boxing ring sort of thing.
Pretty much. It was really healing. I wish I had filmed it though, you know, because it's like, I haven't seen that happen since or before.
And it works because you're siblings. You probably couldn't get away with someone else that you're not that close with because they'll be like, that was really mean, man.
Yeah, you know. Oh, God. I wouldn't even know where to start with what we were talking about. Teenage stuff, you know. But anyway, so, did that. Left from home and I joined, I don't know if you've heard of Diafriques.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so because of the influence of the Fugees back then, the Fugees, Lauryn Hill, biggest inspiration for me, I tell you, because the singing, the rapping, and that spirit.
The Fugees, the score, amazing.
Yes, favorite album of all time still.
Miseducational Lauryn Hill, amazing.
Oof, yeah, you know. So, but yeah, so from there, so I joined Diafriques, so it was the two guys and me. And we did a few things and then parted ways. So that was what, 03? And then 04, I'd moved over to Collingwood and joined IZZLA.
Yep.
Yeah, so where Mantra was in it as well. And Paulie, and then 1/6 also joined as well, and I kind of stepped out. So that's kind of, where it all really kicked off.
That's sort of mid to late 2000s?
Yeah.
It's a very interesting time for local hip-hop in Australia. it's getting radio play.
Yeah.
The Africs is getting radio play.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening.
Definitely. Yeah, it was a good time.
A lot of shows happening too.
Yeah, I missed that, you know, but it feels like it's coming back again. Like, yeah, especially with Breaking Bread. I was talking about it before as well. It's like that kind of excitement, the summer, the crew is getting back together and, yeah, just good vibes kind of stuff. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, yeah, did that. And then I found I would actually during that time, so what was it, like 05 to 09, I went into the reggae side of things and I was in a sound system. I named it Natty Sister and Sound. Yeah. So it's just me and a DJ.
All female.
Yeah. The first all female, I guess not sound system because we didn't have the rig, but yeah, MC and DJ, yeah, doing our thing. So that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Did some good shows. One of the biggest was to support Ziggy Marley.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That would have been a kick.
It was, man. I was so crook that day. I don't know what happened. I even ended up going to the doctor to get a shot to stop me from being sick.
What kind of shot can they give you?
I think, you know, from nausea. Like
okay.
Yeah, and then I was still sick. And I got to the show, still sick. And I'm like, I'll be damned if I don't do this. It's Ziggy Marley, you know?
Yeah.
And then no sooner I got on the stage, it went away. And then the break, sick again, like, you know, one of those. But we did it, so...
You pushed through.
Yeah.
And you got to meet him?
Actually, no. So he's like royalty, you know, and the way that is...
Born into royalty. Sort of.
Proper, yeah. Like, and spiritual royalty too. So it's like, with big respect, he just had his space, like, backstage, and then all the other artists were just, you know, out of there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was a good show.
It's a good one for the resume, though.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, my gosh. It's amazing. Like, some of the people that have had the chance to work with and the way it came about was very serendipitous, you know? Yeah. But yeah, so from doing the reggae, then I found I was interested in grime. So yeah, a friend of mine had brought a DVD over to my house of, oh my gosh, what's it called? Oh, it was Boy Better Know anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, I can't believe it's gone from my head. But yeah, of them all just kind of in the dance or in a rave, like doing their thing as a sci-fi. And I was just like, yo, like you can do that. And okay, I want to do that. And then I've heard also Lady Shan and a few other, Lioness and a few other artists as well on Tim Westwood's radio show.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so my friends are showing me this. I'm like, well, there's chicks that can do it too, and da-da-da. That's it, I'm in. So I started writing my double time rap with that reggae influence. Yeah.
Because grime does have a huge sort of dancehall reggae influence.
Yeah.
But then the production's totally different.
Yeah, right? But I think it's just because reggae is at 70 BPM, and then you just double that, and then you've got like grime. Yeah, you know, or grime tempo at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a whole new, because that really didn't kick off, and the grime heads will probably have a go at me, but it didn't really kick off till like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like it was probably simmering around, but on a global scale, no one really knew about that until sort of 2003, 2004.
Yeah. Oh, man. So when I finally went to England, after a few times, I went and I did this interview at Passion Radio in Bristol.
Yep.
And they were saying that I had reminded them of an artist called, Vida, hold on, Miss Dynamite, who was another just, queen, right?
Yep.
I hadn't heard of her at that point. And they were baffled. It's like, how do you not know Miss Dynamite? Because everyone in England and Northern Hemisphere seemed to know.
Didn't make it down here that quickly, no.
You know, without the internet, like, we really were lacking in hearing some of the mad artists that were in the world. So, yeah, I had a point with that.
That's okay. You became aware of her.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't until early 2003 when like Dizzy Rascal starts to blow up that people start to pay attention to that sort of stuff.
Yes,
I think
exactly.
So Solid Crew, Dizzy Rascal kind of, and then Mike Skinner with the Streets kind of pushed all that stuff. But we didn't even know that there was that kind of scene here in Australia.
Yeah, unless they were playing it on Triple J.
Which that kind of, almost started,
Yeah, like... But which means you had to be tuned in, you know, at all times. And it's like, if you miss it, you've missed it. Like, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm grateful for the internet now, that's for sure.
But the internet's great, but it also takes a little bit. Like, so you went there, you discovered that person, then you can come back and tell people, oh, there's this girl, you know, there's this person that and you can word them up to that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Which now that's kind of lost a little bit. You know, you send someone a link. Have you checked this out?
Yeah.
Not as cool as when you travel around and you can sort of come back with some knowledge.
It's true, you know. It's like, yeah, and this and this. Especially when my friend had brought those DVDs to my house. It's like Yeah. So I mean, I'm glad I got to experience it like that though.
But it's cool because the DVD thing, they're like, hey, watch this. So you watch the whole thing. Now when people, you know, you might have a few drinks, a spliff, whatever, then you start watching stuff on YouTube, then someone goes, oh, change it. Let's put this on.
Yeah.
With the DVD, you're going to watch the whole thing.
Right.
And want more.
Yeah. And the novelty of just the push button rewind real quick rather than the wait for it to, Oh my gosh, life.
So how many times did you travel over to the UK?
Okay, the first time I went, I was 20. And then it was like every
Just for music
years.
or just to experience?
Always for music.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Like the only times that I ever traveled was when I was taken to go do something, a tour or something like that. You know?
When you're 20, what are you going over for?
Okay, well, funny enough, it started here where Elf Transporter, local rapper, had put me forward for something with an artist named Nitin Sawhney. And he's from the UK. And he would make, I don't know if he was classified as world music, but he was really, really amazingly talented in all levels. And because of that, so he'd gotten a few artists from England to come out with him and then a few Australian artists. One of the English artists was Motley.
Wow, yep.
Yeah, and that's when I met, and that's when I met him.
Yep.
So I was 19. And so we did a little show and then he got us to come over to England, Nitin got us to come over to England and do a show there. And that was the first time I touched another land in this life, you know. So, that was really cool. And then a few years later, travelled to Jamaica with Mista Savona to do some reggae, you know, style work.
That would have been cool.
It was an experience.
Experience? In a good or a bad way?
In a good way and experience.
You sound a bit hesitant to say it was in a good way.
Without saying too much, I lost a friend.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, through a series of events that happened over there, and I'm the only witness, you know? So, yeah, like, I can say that much.
Yep.
I don't kind of care to inform.
That's fine. No. Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, I had no idea that
Yeah, no, you're cool. It's life is like that, you know. But one thing that Jamaica gave me, I have to word up Ilabash. Ilabash was from Stampede. It is like Stampede Music, the owner of Stampede Music, CEO, and he had me in the studio for some hours each day to break the shell of like shyness, right? He's like, you know, time is money. When you record, like, you got to come and just bring your fire. There was a point where I was like nearly in tears. Actually, the tears were welling up, and I'm like, okay, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, that's it. That's what you got to do. I was just like, oh God, like of all the things.
He's just pushing you.
Oh yeah, and he fueled the fire, and I'm so grateful to him to this day because I've come back from Jamaica, experiencing the experiences that I experienced, and learning what I've learned in the studio, and now like that full lioness in me is now the musician, you know, is at the forefront when I'm on the stage. And so I'm really grateful for that experience in Jamaica.
And that's a pivotal part in your life as a person and I guess as a performer as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and because I really believe with all artists of any art form, we're creators and we create for a reason. And like just like this world, in order to create change and things like that, you know, we've got to go through certain stuff and to present it to people to help them decide or be inspired and so on. So, yeah, I'm really glad to have come to that kind of way of delivering.
Yeah, no, it's true though, because I think that's what a lot of younger artists struggle with because they haven't had the life experience to really understand, and they want to make music, and that's something you can't teach somebody at school. They've got to live the experience. Yeah,
you know, but I guess it comes from the passion. As long as you got your passion and you're following your heart, your head is the tool rather than, you know, the lead. So follow your heart with that. Yeah, I think they'll find their way in the knowledge for their art.
So you come back from Jamaica, a more mature, sort of well-rounded kind of artist.
Yeah, more so. Yeah. So I was 23 at that point. But yeah, so did that. And that's when, I think that's where the fire was okay to use for my grime passion, you know? So yeah, oh my God, this path is, there's a lot. There's a lot.
This is what it's all about.
I love this. This is cool. So yeah, so age of 23, 24, 25, it's a blur. I'm pretty sure I was just touring and doing stuff in Oz. 26, I believe, is when I jumped into the grime world, you know, and doing Wobble. Was at the Night Owl in the city.
Fracture and the guys. Yeah.
You know, so okay, it was murky. May he rest in absolute perfect peace. This guy, he knew how to get through to me, you know, because I'm very stubborn. Whoa, I'm stubborn, but he's just pushy, you know, in a really wonderful way. And so he was like, check out this artist, this one, this is the show, and da-da-da-da. So there was this SIZZLA from Sydney, grime producer and rapper. He was putting on a night, it was like Melbourne versus Sydney grime clash. And I hadn't heard about it from the Melbourne crew. So the Sydney boys hollered at me to see if I wanted to come join them. And so I told Murky, yo, you know, it's like, what, you know, this is happening. I'm about to go to Sydney. He's like, no, man, you got to come join us. I'm like, all right, boom, you know, so.
So it was happening in Sydney, though?
Happening in Sydney, yeah.
So then you joined with them and then you went to Sydney with them?
Yeah.
And the Sydney guys like, I thought you were on our team.
No. So, you know, like, oh, I'll be straight up, always straight up. I love all of them. They're all really cool. Like, as much as we got vibes on stage and stuff, like, you know, can be quite some way. Everyone's such a vibe. I think I'm the most intense, to be honest.
Was there many female MCs at that point doing the grime thing?
You know what? None that come to mind. Female grime artists, no.
So
that I knew, no.
No, so on that stage, you were pretty much the only female representation.
Yeah, I definitely would know if there was another one. And woe on me if I'm missing it, but I don't think so. Right.
Yeah. And that must have been cool, though.
It was an experience. You know what? I'm really excited to see more sisters getting up on the mic now and like owning it, you know, with their fire and their own power rather than just being like the gimmick, you know, no diss to anyone who does the chorus only or things like that. No diss, period. I'm just going to stop with that. I could go deep.
Oh, we'll go deep if you want to. You feel that some artists are using them for the chorus and not giving them a time to shine?
Yo, for years, even in America, how many times do you see or hear a female amazing singer on the chorus, but the song is only by the rapper and you don't know their name or...
Yeah, that does happen a lot.
You know?
They get treated a little bit like session musos.
Okay, and even then, session music, put the name there. Like, make people know, why would you not, you know? So...
Yeah. That's true. You're very,
Yeah, it's been a struggle. Like, and I realize I have some shit to work through, you know, as far as how I feel about the female presence in the hip hop scene, the hip hop world.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's true because it's come from a pretty misogynistic place, right?
Yeah.
It definitely has.
Yeah.
So that's got to be one thing to take into consideration if you're going to move forward. And then, just to use people on the hook. Because I guess those guys are coming from a mentality, well, if you don't want to sing it, we'll get someone else to sing it, which is the wrong mentality.
You know, but I mean, okay, cool. Each to their own. Sure, if this one doesn't want to sing on it, get another one. But put their name on it. Like, no gatekeeping, no, I'm just the big... No, let everybody shine, you know? Because we are all actually individual stars in our own right. Every single person here, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's like that. But then when it comes to, like... I found with sisters, with the female artists, it was like a lack of support for the confidence kind of thing. So I felt like I was needing to stand firm in that. And that's why I wrote years ago, Woman Run Things. This was before the flip of like, you know, the masculine, feminine pronouns and all the things, the awareness that is here today. It wasn't so long ago. Yep. So that's why I'd written that. It's just like, hey, like, you know your power. Doesn't mean you have to talk anyone down, but big yourself up too. Yep. You know, that's all. And also, like, sisters were always pit against each other. How many times someone would hear my song and be like, oh, you sound like this female. And it's like, no. Like, I'm me, they're them, they're dope. I'm dope, we're dope, period. Whereas fellas, you all get together and can solidly be cool with each other, big each other up or not. But, like, there's a support of some sort where sisters were tended to be separated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm more about the togetherness of everyone.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess some in that sort of scenario, people would be like, well, we've got a female member. We don't need another one. You're like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I can get where you're coming from,
Yeah, so today it's really nice to see where things are going and how things are coming together.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely the way that it needs to be. You don't have a certain... You don't try and tick a box, or we've got females here. You're like, it doesn't matter, male, female, whatever. If they're MCs, if they're singers, doesn't matter what gender they are.
Right.
You know
if they're
what I mean?
dope and can add to the story, to the engine, yeah.
But I think a definite factor would be, like when you said you're the only female on stage at these grime gigs, then they're not seeing the representation enough for other girls to want to get up and do it.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what needs to happen first.
Yeah. Actually, it's really cool coming across a lot of artists these days, knowing that what I had done back in the day had helped them to know they can do it, you know, and they're rocking it. So, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so let's get back on your journey to mid-2000s. You're 26. How old are you saying you're 26-ish?
Okay, yeah, so around 26-ish, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
The lines are blurry. It doesn't matter.
This is where it gets very blurry for me.
Yeah.
Like, because I had to go and grow. So, but, yeah, so there was a couple, I don't know which, so 2011 and 2013, I did Glastonbury festivals.
Which is huge.
It was pretty amazing, Glastonbury, that's an experience in itself, let alone like the mud and the rain, let alone all the other awesome stuff that happens.
But another one that's amazing for the resume, just to say Glastonbury, and 2 years in a row.
Ish, thereabouts, 2011, 2013.
But they do have a year off in between, or they didn't.
Oh, do they? Do you know what? I can't remember.
They do. I don't think they do it every year, or maybe they did back then. Now they have a year off.
Okay, it makes sense because the land, But so that was cool. It was with 2 different outfits. So I was the lead vocalist for Savona Band, which is a reggae crew, and then Medals is, I guess it's like alternative. I was rapping and singing, but it wasn't quite reggae. It wasn't quite hip hop. It was what it was. It was what it was, yeah. So, did those tours, and that was really cool. And then life happened. So things were starting to get really good, and it was overwhelming for me, basically. So I stepped back and went and grew. And now it's like, okay, I want to keep going. So here I am again.
For sure. And I heard a thing the other day that the human brain doesn't really finish developing until you're 28. Okay. And there is sort of something that happens, I think, with a lot of people that everyone's not quite mature until they get to that age when you're almost 30. Right?
It's true. Because it was at the age of 30 exactly where I was like, right, no more partying, like party. Be conscious of what I'm doing with myself and my life and my choices.
Yep.
And so, that's when I kind of went on that journey. Moved to Queensland, doing just normal life stuff. But music never quit me, as much as I tried to quit it,
It never quit you.
It never quit me to this day. So, a few little things here and there throughout the years, but I guess just to keep me kind of connected with the music.
Yep.
But, that's pretty much where that is. But then it was 2000, funny enough, so the year 2019... I finally started recording myself properly in my mind. Give me 10 years and I'll say it wasn't proper.
but so all this other time you're recording, you're not saying it's proper, or you just...
No, I was recording with other people, producers,
okay.
but to... Thank you, YouTube, to grab GarageBand and learn how to lay my own vocal down and mix, and do that kind of thing was, the first time to attempt it properly.
Yeah.
So
with no one else breathing down your neck going, go on, do it like this.
Yeah. Man, it was a whole other level. I was just like, all the ideas that came to mind, just like I can start to incorporate that,
So during this hiatus in like the 2010s, you were still writing music, like writing stuff here and there, but you weren't active in recording.
Yeah. I don't know, not properly active. Actually, I had mass writer's block too, because I kind of burnt out. Like, I was partying a lot in my 20s. Yep. In the small bracket of my 20s, but it really made a big impact, on my art. So that's why I go head versus heart now. Like, my mind goes straight to that. My heart goes straight to the head. You see, it's versing each other now. But yeah, just to kind of really know myself to then like present the art. Yeah. Does that make sense?
So you've got essentially 10-ish years, not quite 10, but you've got, say, 5 or 6 years worth of creativity that you can now put out yourself.
Yeah, that's it. So that's pretty exciting. I mean, when COVID hit, it was wild. So I ran away from a type of relationship 2019, and lucky because then COVID hit. Yeah. So then I went and got a van and lived van life in New South Wales for that 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, it was everything. It was like the best year of my life. Really just doing me. And I had my recording set up and everything in the van. Cool. So yeah. And that's
solar power? How'd you power it?
Solar power, yeah. Yep. And a dual battery as well. So when I was driving, I was charging up the stuff. Cool. And yeah, it was a real blessing. A real blessing because of COVID, the person had already decked out the van and then had to go back overseas. Yeah. So sold it for cheap, and yeah, there I was.
And you've got the setup in there. You've got your MacBook and your GarageBand,
yeah,
and YouTube tutorials.
Yeah, that's all I need.
And away you go.
Yes, definitely, and the birds. But yeah, so that's when I recorded a little something, and I sent it out to Melbourne. I was just like, I felt for everyone, man. This lockdown business was crazy.
And you feel somewhat guilty. Not guilty, but you're like lucky that you're up there.
I felt responsible. Yeah. I felt responsible to shed some light on the really gloomy shit that was being presented to a lot of people, down here in the front line, so to speak. So yeah, this track that I'd recorded, it was incredible. It felt right. It felt really healing. But the beat was something I just chopped up from another song that I really loved. So, I couldn't really post it out there as a professional thing, but it was something to instigate some creative juices again, for the Melbourne people. Because Melbourne to me is the very artistic, part of Australia.
It's the heart of the art, Sophie.
That's it. That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a bit prejudiced, like I'm a bit, biased because I love Melbourne so much. But I feel like it is it's the heart of the artistic sort of hub. Yeah,
but you know what? I agree with that, mainly because of the fact that, like, our venues, if you look at how Melbourne's set up, it is for live music and artists to thrive. Yep. And bless every other town that has art, yes, it's dope, and there are dope, talented artists in there. But that's why I say Melbourne is because of, all the elements. Yeah.
So in that time that you had a break before you started recording yourself, were people reaching out to you going, what are you doing? You're talented. Why aren't you doing this? But you just weren't in the right headspace?
Pretty much, yeah. And I'm a big believer that what I say, I create. Like I say, I create my shit. Like, I really do, And so whatever words or whatever headspace I'm in, I'm going to be writing, and that's going to stay. So I definitely needed to stay responsible and be like, no, I'm not ready, Yeah, long story short.
Yeah.
And if people could understand that, that's great. If they couldn't, there'll be a time to explain it or ask what it means later or hold on to it and let it go, whatever.
Yeah. Was it hard, though, as someone who's creative to not create for that sort of period of time?
Yeah, that whole period was like the deterioration process, with the phoenix mindset of this analogy, yeah. So I was me doing my thing, grime, reggae, hip-hop, here and there, social butterfly, living life large and excessive. And then, yeah, I had to just strip it all back, When I turned around and looked, it was like, what type of friends am I keeping close by? What's my internal dialogue, and all that kind of stuff. And for a long time, I didn't even want to be on Earth. For a long time. Wow. Real facts, yeah.
And that's when you're by yourself?
Yeah.
In the van?
The van was a hand. So right. The van was, all right, real talk. 2019 was the last time I attempted to leave Earth.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I had an experience. It was like I was shown where I was going to go. it was like, this is where you're coming to. Are you sure? You need to get up now.
Like self-destruction sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah, there's this. It was like a purgatory. It was quite, yeah, it was something else.
Okay.
Should I speak on it?
It's your story. I'm more than happy to listen, but yeah, it's your story if you're happy to.
Well, I guess, look, this plays a huge part because Vida Sunshyne, life, light, like that's what I'm about. But in order for me to be able to make certain judgments, to add certain words, put certain words together to then share it with the listener, I had to really experience the truth of existence, you know, which backs the words that gets shared from me. And yeah, I've been attempting to leave Earth since I was a teenager. And I mean, I've lost count of how many times. I don't know how I kept waking up. I don't know. So 2019, I really, really went in. I was just like, that's it. And there was no way I could wake up from that. And so as I was going in, and I was in a really abusive relationship at the time too. So I'm past all of I don't even feel like a survivor. I just feel like I'm strong because of it and facing it and feeling it. So yeah, it's not heavy on me anymore. But I do completely understand the process of those experiences for other people's sake, you know?
Yeah.
So abusive relationship, it's just me in the house. He's out there doing whatever he's doing, and I went and lied down after taking a stupid amount of, you know, tablets. And so as I'm going, and I could feel myself leaving. And then I was shown this place. It's like, it was all black. And it was like 100 different faces in turmoil and sadness that was just shown, like, yeah, one after another. And then like 5, what I call them the screws, like the of the prison type thing. And they looked quite, yeah, kind of really just bad, right? Bad boss type people there. But what I felt was, this is where you're going to go to if you don't get up. Not, now we've got you kind of thing, right? Okay. So yeah, this is where you're going to go. And I was like,
warning sign.
Warning, like you are coming here.
Yeah, and you don't want to be here.
And I don't want to be there. And I was like, right. And it was like the last moment, if I was to get up, I'd get up. And I was like probably 120 kilos by that point as well. So I was heavy, like for just everything. I was carrying all the stuff that I'd accumulated through life. It was just on me, right? So anyway, I get up. Long story short, the ambulance comes. I go get, you know, it's all out of me, rare. From that moment, I'm like, right, no more trying to leave. Let's live. That's the worst. I've done the worst to me than anyone could ever do. So then all those worries of what people think and this and that, it's like, it's gone because I was the worst, right? So now be your best friend. And so that was 2019. Fast forward, a whole lot of series of events happened and then got away from there. And COVID hit. Yeah. Then van life. That's why the van life was the best. Yes. And that's why the music was within it and it just kept me going. Yep. Yeah.
So in that, we'll call it sort of like your rock bottom kind of time, you said you're in a shit relationship. Did you have other loved ones, friends and family that you could reach out to, or did you feel really trapped that you just didn't want to share what you were going through?
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't want to share that.
Okay.
No way, yeah.
In hindsight, do you think it would have been a better idea?
Do you know what? In my mind, for me personally, I would always say to people, definitely share it. Yeah. But me personally, I feel like I needed to do it myself because if I was to tell other people where I was at, I would feel more guilty then for sharing something so heavy, feeling like, oh no, now they've got to take it on, now they're going to worry about me. And
okay. You had to do it yourself.
I had to do it myself.
And you came out stronger.
Yes, you know, but the goal in it was because of what I experienced, thinking I'm leaving, I'm going, you know, like that's it, no one cares, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Let me pick these words correctly. I needed to be my best friend because I was already my worst enemy. And being my worst enemy wasn't fun. It just wasn't working. So when I started to be my best friend, all of a sudden, everything just started flowing for me. I mean, just before the lockdown, I was like, I'm out. So I had my back. I took one backpack, left everything in the house. Wow. And you know what I mean? Went into state. That's step one. COVID hits. I have just enough money to get the van that the woman is selling cheap. So like all these gifts started, you know, like
because you were in the right mental state.
Yeah. And it was like, I'd like to say anyone who goes through this, like feeling like I got to leave the planet, it's too hard. There are so many things to try before you do that. Like, just try and have fun. Just see what being your best friend looks like. Because if you're going to go, you know, you might as well give it all a go.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And man, it worked. Like, I'm really glad I'm still here because life's pretty fun.
For sure. For sure. And I think that is definitely some wise words there. Like, if you are, if in a bad relationship or whatever aside, if people are feeling really down and depressed, move interstate. Go somewhere else. Just move somewhere. Just get... Because sometimes the situation and the environment can be playing with your mental as well. So just go try living somewhere else.
Definitely.
You know?
Yes, yes. Do the things, you know, like the opposite. What you'd say no to, say yes to. And just give it a go. And that's where, the assistance unseen, it just happens. So, yeah.
So would you say that was a spiritual moment or more of a personal building sort of moment?
Completely spiritual.
Okay.
And personal. Because I really identify, like my whole being, I'm spirit that looks like human, like, you know.
The body's a vessel to be, for spirits. I think a lot of people think like that. Yes.
Yeah, which is so cool because back in the day that was like crazy talk, but it's actually facts, you know. So it's nice, to be comprehended.
Yeah. But so I guess, and we sort of should do the right thing here. If people are going through really tough times like that, it's not weak to reach out to somebody, but you just felt like at that point you needed to do it by yourself.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So for me, it's really important to know you because you're you. It doesn't matter what anyone else or anything else says to you. You're you, right? Yep. So when you're feeling down, okay, you feel down. You're allowed to feel down because that's where you're at. But allow yourself to know that there's a balance in everything here, you know? So it's like if you feel to speak, speak. If you can't speak and you can write, you want to get something out, get it out in the way you want to. That's where art comes in, you see. Kids, when you see kids, the moments they're at most peace is when they're just being, which is very creative in a lot of the ways, you know? So
they're playing games, they're pretending there's something.
Okay, and that's another thing. I do that now. So I joined circus school for fitness because the gym seemed boring to me. Yeah. And so now I'm like climbing things and flipping and doing all sorts of stuff. And it's like the inner kid. It's like, why did I not think I could just always do that?
That's something that I think that a lot of with society, right? We let kids be kids until a certain age, right? And I think it's like the teenage years because then people start to feel pressure from other people around them. What are you doing that for? That's childish, you know, start to grow up a bit. And that's when creativity generally stops. Because in primary school, everyone draws, everyone sings, dances, paints, everything. Yes. You get to like year 7, year 8 and you start singing and painting, people are like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's interesting. But you find the ones that are solid in their, like confident in their self, it's accepted much faster, you know? So like we are all allowed to be confident in ourselves. We are allowed to love ourselves to the point that like it brings us joy, you know? And if someone else is upset by that, give them compassion. You know, because you too, person who is upset by that, are allowed to be happy in yourself too.
Well, that's where it comes down to a lot, and it took me a long time to work this out. But the people that generally are not about someone else's creativity is someone who's not happy with themselves. And if you're going to be down, like, oh man, that sucks what you're doing, well, that's because that person doesn't feel happy within themselves.
Yeah.
Let them do what makes them happy.
Exactly, you know. It's the whole thing, like jealousy. It's a really beautiful analogy. Who was it? Russell Brand? I don't know. I saw something in the scrolling where he's saying, like, when you feel jealous on someone, it's actually just a note for yourself to know that, okay, there's something you're not doing for yourself that brings you that happiness and confidence. So when you feel that feeling, recognize that as the trigger to go, okay, what do I want? You're like, what do I want that will bring me to that point? And do it. It's very simple, really.
It is. But we spend a lot of time worrying what other people are doing when we shouldn't, you know?
Really, you know, unless it's there to inspire you.
Yeah. Or unless it's hurting you in some way, let them fucking do whatever they want.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So, you know, our life, it's much more simple than we were taught, you know?
But I think that's the thing we were taught. So we grow up, like my nan, my grandmother is in town. She's staying with me at the moment. She grew up in the 30s, right? Oof. So that's like a different time. And she was taught a certain way, and then we're taught. So that's the thing. We're taught certain stuff.
Yeah.
And that's learned sort of bad behaviours sometimes, you know?
Yeah, bad on ourselves. Like, I mean, a lot of people aren't happy because of that way of being. And so, but the thing is too, we're on the path of finding the way to happily be, naturally be. Does that make sense?
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think now it's much more acceptable for people to follow their passions artistically. Like my nan could never understand that I wasn't going to get a real job. I wanted just to play music. I wanted to, like, she still can't understand, why do you do a podcast when you don't make any money? Because I want to talk to people, want to fucking, grow and learn and help other people.
Yeah.
This sort of stuff is becoming more acceptable now, but for someone growing up in the 1930s, they can't comprehend that.
Yeah.
So we are making steps moving forward to embrace creativity more.
Definitely leaps and bounds, you know. Yeah. Because it's what feels right. That's part of the evolution, I'll say, you know. Yeah.
And now kids can grow up and go, oh, I want to be a singer, you know. Like that was sort of frowned upon a while ago, but now people can go, I want to be an artist. And you can see that with social media. You can see, and those people, they're out there. They're working hard, but they're doing it. Yeah,
it's constantly invoking that self-trust, you know, when you're following your passion.
Yep.
But you find, like, we're always okay. Even when I ended up just in the van, I had roof, I had bed, I had electricity, you know, like really, even car, like all in one. But yeah, like it's just perspective.
With that point, when you're in that car, you're by yourself, that's obviously a very pivotal point. Do you think that if you didn't go through that, you'd still be sort of somewhat stuck in a bad spot?
I think that particular part of my life had played itself out. So there would have just been another way for me to have experienced the next point of the chapter.
You were getting there either way, but that just happened to be where that makes sense.
Yeah, you know.
You seem like someone who definitely trusts the universe.
Yeah, I mean, when you try to leave a place enough times, things, tend to happen where my view on all of existence is quite, I'd say, relatively unique. You know, I'd say relatively because I can't imagine I'm the only one who sees things the way I see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
With, forgive me if this is too personal, but obviously you had a bad relationship then. Have you come to the point in your life now where you are sort of, you know, you feel confident that you could have a relationship again? Because that obviously was something that would have left a very bitter taste in your mouth. Yeah,
I stayed single since then to now. But just recently, I'm like, I think I've done a bit of the work, you know, so that I'm not going to be bringing baggage to whoever I end up spending time with. Yeah. But right now, I'm just really enjoying my friends, and the music is really fueling that. So, but I do feel, like doing the work, it's not easy, but the best way out is through. The only way out is through. So feel through it. Feel your shit. Like that song that I actually did in the van that I sent to Melbourne, the lyrics is like, stay in your feelings, but don't get in your head. You know, like when people are like, oh, they're in their feelings. I say, no, you're up here. Because if you're in your feelings, you're feeling through it, you know you're going to be fine. Like really, hindsight, everyone can be like, oh, I knew it, or, you know, this and that. It's like, bring it to the present. It's like, I know it, like just by trusting yourself, you know? Yeah.
So then that opens up the creative process for you. That one song, then what happens? You start to make more songs. You start to feel like you're in the right mindset and frame of mind. You've done the work, spending the time in the van by yourself to grow. You're ready to sort of be creative again.
Yeah. So that's when I started. I even went and did a security guard course because I wanted to still be around venues, you know. And
It's cool though.
Yeah, you know, just kind of warm back into it kind of thing. But no sooner did I finish the course and my dad passed away. Yeah, okay. Whew, so it was just like, you know,
and
all this stuff.
Where was he based at that point in time?
In Melbourne. But luckily I was here by that point. So
that brought you back here.
Yeah, so 2021. And so, from there, because of him passing, then I went to Ghana and to see the family and ended up staying for 7 months. And
you'd never been before?
Oh, I did, I was there just before Jamaica, actually.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
So you had been,
Yeah. And Dad had taken us over, so that was cool. But yeah, so to spend that time there, and then music found me there too. So we're doing video clips and recording with like people I just met there. Yeah, so it kind of kept me going. By the time I get back here, it was 2022. Was that 2022? And then got into art center work, and so that's where I met DT because we were putting on some events, and he was part of those events, and so then again, music's kind of found its way back to me, and then fast forward to 2023. Wait, we're in 24, right? Oh my gosh,
still for a few more months.
Far out, but and then the Break and Bread event. And so it's kind of just snowballed upwards.
And the timing was right for you mentally and spiritually, emotionally, all the rest of it.
All of the elements.
I'm really curious about the music scene in Ghana. Like, is it all kinds of different music? Is it mostly sort of what?
Okay. So it's definitely not a scene. It's just music. Like that's one thing that's amazing because here we have the scenes, right? But music is like it's part of the culture. It is the culture, But so you've got the Afrobeat style. There's some reggae style and hip hop, Afro hip hop kind of awesomeness. Hip life, high life, coolness. So it was really easy to just whoever I met that was an artist. It's like we resonate straight away. So
And you recorded clips there, and you recorded music and everything.
It's pretty amazing. Even like the video clips. So we did 2 video clips that have been released. And the first one, we went to a place called Buswa, which is in the west side of Ghana. There was a festival happening. So because of that, we already had all the things going on, to film it. And then fast forward to a couple of days before I'm leaving Ghana, and we've gone down to the beach like, okay, let's just film this. We see how it happens. And there's guys on motorbikes riding just because. So they're part of the video clip now. And just the way things flow it's very artistic. Art. The whole place is just art.
It's just art.
Yeah.
They don't know anything else.
Well, I think everything's just, I don't know, life is very different over there. Like, yes, there's a lack of, I'd say, personally, false gifts. Like, we have these nice looking chairs, but really you can sit your ass down on a free floor, and that's cool, like kind of thing. So we don't have the whole anything that money can buy type stuff, for everyone. Yet the priceless stuff of like family values and laughing together because it feels good. And
the materialistic vibe isn't there.
Oh, people, we like material things. We like to look fresh and feel nice. But what stood out to me compared to here is like at 18 years old, you're not told it's not cool if you're not living on your own with your friends. It's like, what are you doing leaving the family if you're not getting married and having a new family to bring? Like, why? Where are you going? Kind of thing. And I like that. It's like people stick together. You very rarely see a person walking by themselves. It's like twos, at least, just because that's the way it is. So the loneliness or separation factor is very different. It's
Which is interesting because you really felt like you found yourself when you were alone.
That's like here. But I think a lot of the things that happened here, it wouldn't have been the case if I was there. So
I'm guessing that when you go back, when you went with your dad, it was a briefer visit, but going back for 7 months, that must have changed your whole outlook on the whole place as well.
So the first time I went, it was 3 months that I stayed.
Which is still a long time.
I just resonated big time. And I've always resonated with that part of me anyway. So, that was always going to be the case. But, I think also because Dad was gone this time that I went. So by staying there longer, I felt like, I'm still with him closer. And all the families over there, aunties, uncles, granddad and cousins and, so.
Was that something that you just felt you needed to do by going back there, or is that something that's sort of like a tradition after somebody passes? Or?
Yeah, I'm the firstborn, so I needed to go back and just, long story short, I needed to be there for a whole lot of things.
And that helps part of your growth as an artist. You come back with another little thing to tick off and go, yep, I've experienced that too.
Yeah.
And that changes the way you make music a little bit as well.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Because also, like, it's a part of me. It's like a lot of the things I do, or the way my character is, it's quite different to a lot of people here as I was growing up. But, like, it just was normal there. So it's like, oh, okay, so the identity. And so more pieces of the puzzle that is me have been put together. Yeah.
Starts to make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And so music being, actually one of the last things my dad ever said to me is, Vide, you were born to do music. This is what you were born to do. You can't quit. You know, I was so adamant on quitting as well. So you can't. So then that stayed in me, you know, it's part of my purpose. Actually, that's it, purpose.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So then does it change the way that you're recording? So you're still just recording by yourself at this point? Or are you starting to,
Yeah, no, I'm keen to get amongst it again. So I'm no longer up in my head.
Yes.
So, yeah, and that's the difference, I think. Because I'm very hypersensitive to vibration. So back in the day, I wasn't with the right, or I wasn't resonating with a lot of people because of where I was at, you know? So now it's more calm and it's more fun. Like, so yeah, I can get amongst it. And
so you're ready to record again in a collaborative setting?
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like I was just basically, my music life was just put on pause, literally just pause. And then life happened and now play. And it's just like keep going with the touring, the recording, collaborating. Yeah.
Is the like, I know with like sort of different stages of mental awareness and whatever, you're obviously in control now, but do you have moments where you're like stressing out, and is there ways that you deal with this sort of stuff now?
Yeah.
Because people might be able to learn from this.
Oh, cool. I ride the wave. Allow it. My whole fridge is filled with all these little messages that I'll hear like a message in my mind. Like, for example, allow it, and just keep hearing allow it. It's like, what is, or from, you know, different angles, allow it. It's like, what is this? You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put it on my fridge. And, you know, there's a few, like a whole lot. I should have brought you a picture. But so every time I turn and look to my fridge, because we do that on the daily, whatever I end up seeing first, it's like, okay, that's something, it's just, what is it? Like that be your best friend thing, you know, and the self-hypnosis is a big one too.
Okay. Explain that for us.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people, friends of mine, have been saying, like, scrolling. I'm sure you've heard this, like, scrolling, I've got to detox from it because I just feel some way and da-da-da-da. And then when you look at the 3 dots in the scrolling, I'm thinking of Instagram here, you can hit the not interested or interested, right? So enough times I've hit not interested on anything that doesn't fulfill me. Anything that makes me feel like, I don't need to be feeling that anymore. I had enough of that, you know, and it doesn't serve anyone. Definitely doesn't serve me.
Cut it out of your life.
Cut it out of
your feed.
Yes. And so now whenever I scroll, I literally have fitness and dancing and really positive, uplifting, helpful quotes or suggestions or advice. So all the positive things, anything that can fill me, you know. And consciously too. I've heard of this statement of toxic positivity. It's very strange. It's very strange to me.
Toxic. It's saying don't be too positive.
Do you know what I'm
saying?
saying? Yeah. It's like I don't rate that. Like, so basically anything that fills me. So I suggest to people, scroll if you wish. There is a whole lot of stuff that can inspire you on there. You just got to do the work, and then when you go through these heavy feelings, ride the wave. Breathe through it. This stuff actually works, you know, from someone who's left the planet, come back. Oh, I just started meditating for the first time, and it's like, oh, that's what everyone's on about. Like, it takes a minute, you know.
It's hard meditation, though.
Well, there's different ways. It's where your focus goes, you know. So, for example, when writing, when making anything creative or repetitive, that's a form of meditation, you know. So, and I've been diagnosed with ADHD, so I also medicated, but...
Did the medication instantly help?
Yo, it was like a holiday from my brain.
Okay.
Oof. Personally, I won't be giving it to my children, but that's my personal, you know, thing. Because of the experience in it, it is something outside of me. But if there was someone who could understand that I had ADHD as I was coming up, they could put me out, like I can run around the farm and probably round up some cows. I'm telling you, better than the dog, like, you know, with this ADHD energy. Or, you know, Join circus school much sooner, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As a kid. I digress.
So you were potentially, when you were partying, self-diagnosing for the ADHD, potentially?
Well, self-medicating.
Not self-diagnosing, self-medicating. That's what I was trying to say,
Yeah. Actually, that's what it was. Because when I first started partying, I was like, yo, I can actually write lyrics and like do this and da-da-da. Little did I know there's the flip side of like all of that. But okay, I'm glad I experienced it.
Yeah.
Because now I can interact with so many walks of life and really, you know, have conversations and get each other, you know, kind of. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because a lot of people are finding out that they've got this later in life, and so you went and you got diagnosed. So the doctor says this is a medication that might help you. Were you hesitant to try it?
No, because at that point, the doctor was like, before we try that, we're going to try all this other stuff.
Right.
And I mean, okay, like,
yeah.
So I've had, I guess you could call it like the sight. So there's been a lot of things that I see and feel and experience that have been, when I speak on it, have been very helpful for the friends or randoms that it might have had something to do with outside of my own like story or path. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Okay,
cool. So then I decided, you know, okay, doc, like, let's fix me. What's going on? This is what I see. This is what I hear. Am I absolutely bonkers? Like, okay, let's try this medicine and anti this and da-da-da-da. None of it worked at all. And I was really open to really trying and seeing what's going on.
And giving it a run? Because you probably got to try 3 months or something, don't you?
Exactly, yeah. Hence the weight that had landed on me too. It had a lot to do with these medications. I feel sick at the thought of them because, anyway.
Yeah, but they're a necessary evil sometimes, you know?
Yeah. No. This is fully my personal experience. Yes. I don't wish this on people to think, okay, then it has to be like that for me too. No, we are individuals. It's very important people know this, you know? Yeah. Individuals experiencing something similar, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, it depends on the person. So
what works for you may not work for someone else, and what works for you might work for someone else, but you don't fucking know.
Yes. What's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. Just like that. Yeah. So, okay. So, medications, blah, 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 none of it worked. It's like, okay, let's try this. No sooner did I try it, it was Ritalin. Right. That's what I mean. The holiday from my brain, it was just like, I couldn't believe how many thoughts were going through my head all the time to the confusion. But it's not just the thoughts, because it's when you're picking up on feelings around you, vibrations around you, add that to the mix and it's just like, get me out of here kind of thing.
So it just calmed your brain to a point that you could think and focus.
And focus and plan and stick to it and know where I put my keys and my cup and what conversation I was just having. Like normal, quote unquote, stuff.
My partner uses that all the time because I always lose my keys and wallet and stuff. And she's like, she always tells me that I've got that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't want to be one of those people that self-diagnoses. But yeah, apparently maybe it's worth looking into.
Well, it depends on you, right? If you're cool, if you feel calm in your life with that, like it's not putting so much heavy pressure on your life, then you don't need to, in my opinion, and I'm no doctor, right? I'm no doctor. But in my opinion, if you're functioning just fine and you're happy, you know, then I don't reckon medication should be like the very, very last.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the thing is with the medication is if you start to, and I don't know, I'm just asking you, if you start to take it, is it something that you sort of have to be in for the long haul and sort of want to take it forever?
Well, I'm still on the medication and I was diagnosed 2019, right? End of or thereabouts. Anyway, and I've changed them since to see what works and things like that. I would like to not be on it all the time. So what it's done for me is help me come up out of the muck that my brain had, played a huge part in creating for my life. It's helped me come out of it and have like some structure. Yep. And then with that, there's that pattern of the structure and, coping mechanisms. And now with the meditation and understanding myself, understanding rather. So now from there, the next goal is, okay, let's try and see what it's like without it, because I know I'll be fine. Yeah. It's just mind, you know.
That's a huge part of it, I think, for people that have busy brains, which a lot of us do. It's understanding that that's just a thought and it'll pass. And now let's, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's one thing that I think is really important for people that overthink things, just to let it pass and then it's gone and then worry about something else.
Yeah, worry about it. It's a good point, because that's what happens, you know? It's like, okay, what else can I would find myself sitting at home going, all right, what do I think? It's like, wait, what do I mean? You know, what do I think?
That inner dialogue's working overtime.
Yeah, you know, it's like, just feel through it. Feelings over thoughts, you know, because your feelings are spot on. You see kids, you could have two parents having an argument and you watch the child, even no matter how much the parents will say to the child, everything's fine, la, 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 and then they're having the vibration. The child will start becoming, I don't know what, and something, because that's the feeling. We are still that child, you know, we're just bigger.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. It's like the negative. If you're surrounded by negative energy, you can't help but be negative. And I think environment plays a huge part into what people become, or even sort of, and just removing yourself from those situations is really important.
Yes, definitely. And by knowing yourself, the more you know yourself, the more clear you'll be on, is this area right for me? And then where do I feel most calm? And, you know, like where you feel at ease is how it's supposed to be, you know, rather than the fight or flight constantly. Yeah.
That is definitely something that I think in this sort of day and age where we don't need that fight or flight mentality as much, because we're not getting chased by wolves. There's no rival tribes throwing rocks at us, like, because that's where those things sort of come from our evolution.
Yes.
So now we're worried about things that don't really exist.
Okay.
And we've put something in those little worry spots to fucking fill that void of worry.
Yes, exactly. So that's where you become your best friend and know yourself. That's why it really comes back to one, like you. Because if you know yourself so well, it's like something's not feeling right. Just go. Before you know it, you'll find out why it was good for you to just step out, you know, and then you're at peace. And then you can go and follow, what's right for you.
So you personally look at the medication as a bit of a reset, and then you'll finally try to sort of wean off it and do the mental work that needs for you to just be without it?
Definitely. Because I know that we have all we need. Like, really, even if there's a sense that isn't working, you know, we tend to be able to, counter it with something else within ourselves, you know, or a wonderful invention from someone.
It's like, with your eyes, if one eye is weak, the other eye will become stronger to help for that.
Exactly, you know, so knowing that, and that's that, yes, it's positivity, but it's actually facts, you know, so... Yeah, it's just that, you know, bringing your awareness back to what works for you really, not to impair you or slow you down, but just to assist in everything that you already have and can use. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you do any mentoring and stuff, but I think you'd be really good at helping people that potentially have gone through some sort of similar scenarios, you know, that maybe haven't dug their way out of it yet.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd really love to do that. I've weirdly enough, serendipity. Is it serendipity? Synchronicity? Anyway, all the good stuff. I just said that to the universe yesterday. So every now and again, I'm like, okay, universe, surprise me. You know, like, this is what I want to do. Let's see how it happens. And sure enough, things come.
No, I got that vibe there for sure,
Yeah. So, but yes, I definitely want to help, because it didn't happen for no reason, you know, in my life. So
yeah. So let's get back on the musical journey.
Sure.
It's 2022-ish now. It's like pretend that that's where we are.
Yeah.
So you're making more music. You're ready to start recording. You're ready to start to you paused it. You're hitting play again. Is that right?
Yeah. So I guess that happens too when a loved one passes. You know, big change happens. You get some perspective, and it's like, okay, I want to create. I want to live, and this is where it's fun for me, my passion. So then, I needed work, so that's where the art centre work came in, and I'm really grateful for that experience. And then Motley telling me about the show Breaking Bread.
Cool.
Yeah, that's... Whew. And then before I knew it, I've joined the circus.
Which sounds like a different journey, but yeah.
You know, but it actually all ties in because I was the music for an urban circus, and it was just for a short tour earlier this year.
Yep.
Yeah, so by doing that, hosting, and so then all the way up out of my shell, whatever shell was left.
Yep.
Yeah. And so did that, toured, we did like 70 plus shows from January to April. Yeah, a lot.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. 1 hour shows, really cool.
What, so you're doing potentially more than one in a day sometimes? Yeah,
so on the weekends we did 2 Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and then 1 each day during the week.
Full on.
Minus Monday. Yeah. But it was good. It was like musical boot camp.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, and I guess you don't have time to think about anything else. You just got to get it done.
Yeah, pretty much, you know. And then also getting to see how the others, like other acts, you know, because it was at certain festivals, fringe festivals and stuff, how they put their things together. And yeah, just it was nice to see performance and music from another angle rather than what I was used to.
Yeah.
With, you know, band, venue, microphone, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, similar sort of creative vibes, but just, you know, applied in a different manner.
Exactly, yeah. So that's like a whole new world to me. I'm like, I don't know how I missed that.
The performance side of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of, opened my mind to a lot of options and possibilities.
Yeah, opportunities.
Opportunities, that's the one. Possibilities and options put together.
Positive opportunities and options. So then you start recording, you're doing your own stuff, you're ready to get back into it. Breaking Bread comes around. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Well, this is pretty big, actually. This is the very first time that an Australian-born, African-Australian female is headlining an Oz hip-hop event in Australia.
Wow, okay.
Please correct me if you know of another. But yeah, this is, as far as I know, yeah. So I'm really excited for this particular show. Yeah, and the artists that are on this lineup are pretty dope too. You know, like, yeah, Strictly DT, Jace, 1-6, man, this guy, he's such an entertainer. I'm really eager to see him do his thing, you know. It's been a minute, yeah. And then, 7-6 and Elacor. Is that right? Yeah. So the whole team and really good people. So, yeah, one thing I've noticed with the Breaking Bread collective is just really good vibes people rather than the toxicity. There's no toxicity from what I've seen. It's just like people all on the healing journey and just expressing themselves and hanging. Like, it's nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The only thing that I think is bad about that community is when they go out to the other gigs, they're like, hang on, this isn't as positive as we're used to.
Hey, so that's where we got to bring that.
Bring that positive
vibes in. Yeah.
For sure. So, and obviously you're headlining, but you've done so many different gigs, but you weren't a solo performer for a lot of those. You were doing a lot of that sort of stuff as part of collectives, different groups, different bands, different outfits. Yeah,
it's true. It's really true. So this is kind of... It's scary. It's definitely scary, which is why I have to do it. Yep. You know, because the best stuff is always behind that feeling.
So what, you've got a band with you, you've got a DJ, how's it going to work?
Yeah, both. Band, DJ, some dance as well.
Circus performers?
I want to leave some things for excitement for the crowd and like shock people.
Yep.
And also if it falls through.
You didn't overpromise.
Exactly, yeah. So, but... I like the idea of no limits. So, and also being in the flow.
Yep.
So whatever comes naturally to be a part of this is what I want to showcase.
Yep.
But definitely got some guest appearances from some amazing talent as well. Yeah. But that's where I want to leave that because I want to surprise people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this will be the first, I'm guessing, of a lot of shows that you're doing as a solo performer.
Yeah. No, that's the goal. Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, I put everything on pause.
Yep.
So I had to go and grow, right? And so I've learned all the things I need to. And I think this circus experience was like the last piece. So it's like, okay, this is what's possible. This is what I want to do. Let's follow through and do it.
Yep.
And so, this is the first of many.
So if people want to book you and stuff for other stuff interstate, that they can reach out to you?
Yeah, reach out to me or T, Breaking Bread crew, and see. Yeah,
T, your manager now, is he?
I'm trying to snatch him up, but we shall see. He's a very busy man.
Very busy. It doesn't look that busy over there now. He looks very comfortable, actually.
But that's the thing, because but there's a lot going on. Making plans, this guy.
Yeah, okay. He's making moves over there from the couch.
Yeah, all calm and collected.
So while we're talking about Tea and Breaking Bread, do you want to shout out the event, say when it is and like how people can get involved?
Yes, the event is on the 23rd of November. Get involved through, is it Eventbrite?
Yeah.
Yes, Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.com.au, is it?
.au.
Yeah.
Yes.
Google Eventbrite Breaking Bread, you'll find it.
Yes, it will be at the Rubik's Warehouse in Brunswick. Phoenix Street, of all the streets.
Oh, there you go, to rise above.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything, it's just all the signs. I like it.
Yeah. Really, when he was here, he was the same. He's like, man, I got the really good vibes from Breaking Bread because I just felt this and it was all the timing and it kind of, all pieces start to fall in place. Yeah.
Hey, we have great conversations, me and Greeley. It's like that level of talking the signs and the energies of things. It's fluent.
It's cool to get you and Greeley in here together to do a bit of a round table with like multiple. That's what I want to start doing with multiple guests and just talking, not about people's individual stories, just about just having a conversation. Yeah,
hey, that would be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So if people want to work with you, as not just booking you, but if they want to, do a track with you, if you want to do some recording with them, if they want a verse from you, they can reach out to you. Is that possible?
Yes, definitely reach out. Definitely reach out. Yeah, you don't know unless you ask, Yeah, for sure. And I am very much about right timing and what feels correct. So, yeah, like I said, follow your heart. And my heart's like, then we just go ahead and do stuff. So, yeah.
For sure. Is there anyone you want to sort of shout out, anything you want to tell us that's coming up besides the Breaking Bread stuff as we kind of wind things up?
Yeah, so my youngest sibling, Bilali. Ooh, this guy can rap and sing and make beats and he shocked me so much, this guy.
Yep.
But yeah, he's got a set coming up. He's supporting Cool Out Sun on the 2nd of November.
Cool.
At Wax Lounge.
Yep.
Keep an eye out for that.
In the city there, yep.
In the city of Melbourne, yep.
Great venue.
Yeah. That was the first time I'd gone there a few weeks ago, actually. I'm loving what I'm seeing in Melbourne.
Yeah.
But yeah, also keep an eye out for, Legends resident DJ, Legends Volume 2 and 1, DJ Mishap. This queen not only DJs, she's now rapping and singing. I'm so impressed. So, yeah, like if you don't know, keep a lookout for her. And Grace Chia out of Tasmania.
Yep.
Singing, rapping. Oh, my gosh. This is what I'm saying. Like from back in the day to not seeing it to now it's like around.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's so many artists to shout out. Forgive me that I haven't said everybody. But right now I feel that's who I need to mention.
Yeah, well, I reckon we've had a pretty good chat. We've just done an hour and a half of nice, free-flowing chat.
Wow.
It goes quick, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. We went deep.
We did.
I didn't expect it.
I'm sure we could even go deeper and there's probably more we could talk about. And I'd love to get you back, like I said, with those sort of roundtable chats, but just maybe in 6 months' time when you're a bit further along on your journey and we can talk more about stuff, probably things that we didn't talk about.
For sure.
If you'd be down, that'd be awesome.
I would love that, for sure.
All right, well, we'll probably wrap it up. Don't forget the Breaking Bread gig, the 23rd. Vida Sunshyne, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. Anytime, eh?
Cheers.
Cool. Bless.